Hello everyone, thanks for pressing play. You are watching a brand new episode of ExcaliburCCGTV. I am Chris, this is my co-host Randy, and we are back again to talk about great comics hitting the shelf for the week of September 24th. Don't forget, you can always check out what's going on with our store at ExcaliburCCG.com. We are here in Shreveport, Louisiana, and we have a store in Texarkana, Texas. Be sure and give us a thumbs up, subscribe, like, follow us on Facebook. All that fun stuff. We really appreciate it. Our subscriber count has slowly been going up and staying there.
And listen to the MP3.
Guys, that's right. I made the mistake of trying to pimp it at the end of the episode last week. But for those of you on the go, I have a link to the MP3 of this episode in the description below here on YouTube. You can go to our website, download it, and listen to us on the go. If you're busy, don't have time to sit and watch.
That's right. We're promoting it.
Now we're promoting it. That's right. We're not pimping it. He doesn't like that word. But guys, we're about to dive in here. But first, a thing or two. What is going on Tuesday night, Randy?
Tuesday night. You guys are watching this Monday at some point in time. That means that within 24 hours or less, you will find us, if you are in Shreveport, at the Broadmoor Branch Library at 7 o'clock p.m. doing our library edition live show about banned graphic novels. Actually, pretty much challenged graphic novels. So they'll be different. It'll be fun. It'll be within a very quickly growing crowd there. There are a lot of people committing to this. So
I know. I'm freaking out a little bit.
We'll have a lot of people there. We're going to try and find some way. I know people were expressing some interest with actually being on YouTube, so we're going to try and find some way to make that happen.
Okay.
Because that was not, when we invited people, it blew up. It became a lot more than what we were even expecting it to be there,
right.
And so we've kind of tried to be like the water and change in our direction and flow with it as much as possible here. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully it will be good. Please bear with us because this will be our first live audience.
Yes.
Except for every now and then having someone sit there watching us.
Yeah, there's an occasional straggler that shows up here in our small studio here.
Yes.
But guys, we're really looking forward. We're going to have a couple of giveaways.
Yeah.
And just plan on having just a great time in general.
Ask as many questions. This is be fun with the question asking. This is not something where we're here to debate.
Yeah.
The validity of challenges with that's not what this is about. We're going to stick to our guns with it's freedom of writing and expressing yourself. So that's as far as it goes. This isn't about us being on trial or something.
Nobody is on. Yeah, nobody's on trial. That's already come and gone by this point.
Yeah.
But I know that, like on Facebook, just to the invitation of the event, there's at least 40 people, and then I have no idea what's been.
39.
There we go. And then I have no idea about the library itself. Who they
will show up.
And then there's the other folks that just come through and they see the sign and
they're the maybes. They're the people who have been in the store that have been talking to. So we'll see.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Thanks for your support. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you Tuesday night at the Broadmoor Library. If you're seeing this on Wednesday, it's done. You'll get to see the video later because we will be videoing it to show to you guys later, of course, obviously. But before we move on, it's one of those rare occasions, folks, where my good man Randy's got a little something special for us. Randy?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've given you guys something that I can actually say this is why I love it and this is why I hate it. I'm going to go with the whole Futures End right now. Why I love it is we get a look at some characters in 5 years down the road where we can hope to see them at. Why I hate it, none of this is going to stick because you have the deaths of some big-time characters there. That's not going to happen 5 years down the road. This is all, I think, going to end up being more like an Age of Ultron thing where eventually it's all for naught. Doesn't really matter. You get some pretty covers and you get a story, but it's not going to be anything that's canon.
No, I think I have to agree. I mean, it is fun to explore the concepts and see them differently, and Yeah, exactly.
I'll throw some spoilers out there because I mean they're already out on the shelf. You guys have possibly picked them up. If you haven't, you might want to pick them up. I mean, to see like the deaths of Deadshot or the death of Batwoman.
Okay.
You know, different characters like that. Those are big characters. You're not going to see them die. So
right.
That's it's just one of those things that I wish that this was more in line with something that DC said we're actually working towards.
Right.
This to be 5 years down the line with everything, but it's not going to be.
There you go, folks. Randy's why I love it, why I hate it.
Why I love it, why I'm kind of perturbed by
it. Sound off in the comments below. Tell us what you think of all that's going on, and great segue into our storylines because we are starting off with the Futures End stuff, and there's a good mix of it this week. Randy?
And this is going to be the final week of the Futures End. So after this, we go back to the regular numbering and the ends of some series and the beginning of other series, the beginning of new creative teams, all of that. What we have this week, we have Aquaman and the Others, where the Dead King it looks like he is leading the Others in an all-out assault on Atlantis, where they're looking to dethrone Mara.
Yeah.
So, fun stuff there. We got to see kind of the first part of that in Aquaman. You get the second part here. We've got a Booster Gold, one of these. I don't think there's a scheduled series to continue on immediately after this, but we've got Booster Gold, where Booster looks to break free from a world and a fate that has held him and other forgotten heroes captive.
Okay.
So we'll see exactly what's going on there. Maybe we'll get to see some Ted Kord.
Nice.
That would be cool.
That would be.
We've also got Catwoman, where there are going to be shocking revelations about Catwoman and Black Mask, and that's all going to be part of her big play to be the kingpin of Gotham.
Right.
That sounds kind of interesting to me. We've got the Flash, where the Flash must fight his future self to see who will control the Speed Force.
Nice.
Harley Quinn, which looks like a totally different one from the beefed up Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. This Harley Quinn, Harley and Joker finally tie the knot. They do the big deed, and they give a whole new meaning to "Till Death Do Us Part."
Yes,
I like that.
Yes.
In Justice League Dark, we're looking at Zatanna, where she is making one last attempt to get her team, herself, and the House of Mystery back to their own dimension.
Okay.
Within the Red Lanterns, this one's an interesting one because we have the Blue Lantern, Guy Gardner.
That's right.
And he must correct some deadly mistakes that have been on his part.
Okay.
All the while, it probably has something to do with the massive ranks of Red Lanterns that are all about the universe. So we'll see exactly what's going on there. We've also got another Lantern book with Sinestro, and in this one, Sinestro is held prisoner by this new intergalactic force that has some sort of a twisted take on his own morals and codes. So we'll see what's going on there, because his morals and codes are already pretty crazy.
Yes, exactly.
We've got this is an interesting one here, just because
I know. I saw this and I'm like,
really?
really?
Just got this story started. We have the Star Spangled War stories featuring G.I. Zombie.
Exactly.
And G.I. Zombie is facing off against the thousands of hordes of U.S. military zombie experiments.
I was not expecting that one to be one. So
I didn't realize that. But finally, we've got Superman. And in this, we're going to find out more about the new, darker protector of Metropolis, Superman.
Yeah.
Who looks kind of like Judge Dredd when his mask is shot in half and he has only the top portion of the visor.
Okay, yeah, that one.
yeah, that one.
A Judge Dredd.
The one that's actually from the Futures End weekly series.
Right, exactly.
So those are your books for Futures End this week.
Nice, and that is a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, the last week. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the 3D covers that we've been able to show on the screen for you and stuff. Some of them are really, really cool.
Great job.
And Brad's been doing a fantastic job of incorporating those into the video for us. Thank you very much, Brad. Guys, be sure and give Brad a kudos for that, because we really appreciate it.
Ooh, I haven't had a kudos in forever.
You haven't had a kudos in forever.
I love kudos.
There's some more storyline stuff going on. I'm going to go with something I'm a bit more familiar with. Edge of Spider-Verse #3 hits this week. The last issue, we got to see Gwen Stacy as Spider-Woman. It was a nice story change where Peter Parker became something else entirely. And she was Spider-Man and having to deal with all the ramifications of that. And this week we get to take a look at Dr. Aaron Aikman, Spider-Man, facing off against Red Eye and Narama. I probably am not saying that right, but
totally wrong.
Probably totally wrong. Thank you, Randy, for confirming that. And we also get to take a look at the arrival of Moreland. Of course, Moreland is a key element to all of this going on. So this is another key issue in the whole Spider-Verse saga that's going on. We got 5 issues of Edge of Spider-Verse and then 2 issues of Spider-Verse that'll be hitting.
And you've also got the mini-series that's going to focus on like 3 different Spider-Verse characters throughout each one of them.
You talking about the Scarlet Spiders?
They have like Spider-Ham and all the different ones. They're going to have like 3 issues of that series too.
Yes.
So.
And there's tons of Spider-Ham fans out there. I've already learned that so far. So guys, have fun with Edge of Spider-Verse number 3.
Yeah, we've also got Original Sin, I think, hopefully finally wrapping up here with Guardians of the Galaxy number 19. And this is going to be the one where we've saw the beginning of everything within the Cancerverse with Richard Rider, Star-Lord, and Thanos.
Right.
Now I think we're going to get to see the possible final fate of Richard Rider.
Right.
I don't know exactly, but we're going to get to see what the heck was going on inside the Cancerverse.
And guys, remember that storyline that was like, I don't know, months ago now, called Superman Doomed? Well, number 2 is out this week.
Yes.
Number 2 of Superman Doomed hits the shelf this week. And not only does Superman, or Super Doom, whatever he's called now, has to defeat Brainiac, but he's also having to deal with the Justice League. We got Batman, Wonder Woman, Steel, Supergirl, Starfire, Guy Gardner, the Simon Baz Green Lantern, and even Swamp Thing are all part of the process of what's going on here and have to make a decision about their super friend and what his ultimate outcome will be with this issue. So, finally, it looks like we will get an end cap to Superman Doomed. Yep. Unless it just transforms into something else.
We'll see. We'll see. March to Access continues here with 2 books this week. The first book, we've already read part of it with Magneto number 10 coming out.
Right.
It just continues, number 9, where as you saw in number 9, he's battling Red Skull and the S-Men. I think we're just going to get to see what happens after that because it looked like he was fairly outmatched. I don't know.
Right.
It's just continuing. There's not a lot of extra information to what happens in this book. We also have Loki, Agent of Asgard, number 6. This is a good jumping on point for a lot of people. Loki's just come back from the 10th realm.
Right.
And already he's having to, in over his head with everything, having to face off against Doom.
Yep.
And we're going to see just exactly what's going on because there's supposed to be a really different take on Doom coming up here pretty recently. And I think a lot of it has to do with Valeria Richards.
Right.
They're kind of encouraging him to possibly take more of a heroic role with things. So I don't know if we're going to have evil Doom or if we're going to have kind of more heroic Doom. Or if we're going to have the dark side take over Valeria. So we'll see.
That whole dynamic's been very interesting to me. So it'd be nice to see. And guys, New Avengers 24, we bring this up because it's another part of the Time Runs Out storyline that started last week or the week before with Avengers number 35, which was an awesome issue with fantastic artwork. Jim Chung did some stuff there at the end.
Yeah,
man.
I saw he was doing some of that. The other thing that will probably entice a lot of people is on the cover of this issue. Mm-hmm. We've got the very recently freed Thanos.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
So I think this one is going to kind of be exploring the new group there that Namor has.
Yes, the Cabal.
Is that? Are they going with the Cabal again?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they are supposed to be the Cabal.
Okay.
And then, man, if you guys have been reading New Avengers up to this point, you saw what Namor did in regards to him trying to save our Earth from the other incursions.
And I like that it wasn't like Namor going evil. It was just Namor going saying, "Look,
yes,
I've seen the hard decisions these heroes have been having to make. I know some people who are not going to. That's not going to be a tough decision for them."
Right. Exactly.
So I like that.
That was so awesome. It was just so awesome. It was awesome. And guys, we get even more. The time runs out in 8 months. Something is going to happen, and we're starting here. It was not, what was it, 9 months or 8 months with the Avengers 35?
Yeah, it's still 8 months.
Still 8 months. So there we go. And there's big changes coming up next year that we will see, but this is all starting towards that and leading us towards that. And I'm just excited about it. I'm really having fun with it. And I think that's it for the storylines that we've got.
Yeah, I think so.
So guys, guess what?
There's no question of the week.
There's no question of the week this week.
You guys, we have really been racking our brains trying to come up with stuff that will entice you. So I think our question of the week here is going to be, what questions would you like to throw at us that we can kind of submit to people? We'll come up with some answers, and we won't answer within the comments on the YouTube page, but we'll kind of write up a list of what people are asking us,
sure,
and what we think are going to be some good, fun questions that we can then turn around and ask.
Yeah.
So our question of the week is, what question of the week would you like us to have as the question of the week?
Give it to us. You guys get to determine the question of the week. And honestly, there's been a lot of stuff going on as well. We have been spending a lot of time getting prepared for this library edition of the show and stuff.
Getting prepared for that, and a little other news there. I guess we can say this is we have our local newspaper is wanting to do a little spotlight on our show.
Exactly.
So that's one of those things that's also exciting, and it's also still, I guess, a little nervous for me, because I have not expected our show to, I guess, get to the point where we have nearly 500 viewers or subscribers. We have, all the viewers. We have, Bleeding Cool promoting us. We have people coming into the store recognize. It's fun, but I think our original intention was just to kind of put this video out there and hope that people that are at our local shop would find more interesting titles that they might want to pick up, and that's worked. We've accomplished that and so much more with this, so that's really awesome.
It's just developed its own thing. It's become so much more than what it started out with.
The solo show to
that's right.
the duo show.
That's right. So it's been great, and you guys. We have you to thank for this wild ride and this continuing wild ride, because we're going to continue this just as long as we possibly can. So tell us your questions of the week that you would like for us to use in the comments below, and we'll pick and choose, and we'll have some fun with that, and we'll move on from there. But guys, now we're going to move on to the new number ones.
Yeah.
We got a few hitting this week. Nothing from the major publishers, but some still interesting ones,
right?
That you will recognize, and I'm sure that you will want to be a part of.
Mine that I'm really looking forward to. I'm not sure what to expect from it. Is Roche Limit.
Yes.
And number one comes out Image Comics, so people, that right there is going to entice some people. This is sci-fi meets noir with this series here.
Right.
And it's going to be looking at this billionaire's dream to, I guess, populate space is kind of the thing. Explore, populate. 20 years later, that dream is dead, and Roche Limit, which I guess is the name of the space station, whatever you want to call it, is just a cesspool of crime and terrible, awful secrets. And one of the things that happens here is that a lady, I don't know what her role is within all this, Becca Hudson, is missing. So her sister is looking for some answers and is going to have to delve within the underworld to get the answers to this. This is the first book of this series, and they said that this is going to be a trilogy.
Yeah,
so I guess that they're going to be, this is going to be a mini-series that will then lead into a mini-series that leads into a mini-series. I haven't seen anything other than that, and as of right now, it's only said number one. It hasn't said number one of, so I don't know. That usually tells me ongoing series.
Right.
But then Image loves to do that, where they have something just like this,
exactly.
just like they did with Ghosted.
Right.
And they'll then come out after the first or second issue and go, now it's an ongoing series.
Exactly.
Okay.
There we go. So there we go.
I'm looking forward to it, and Mordecai, or whoever, I don't know the people who are creating this. Michael Morrissey.
Sure.
And Vic
Malhotra.
I don't know them, but
Yeah.
the previews that I've seen, and maybe you can link to, if you've not already, Comic Book Resources had like a 6 or 7 page preview of this.
Okay, yeah.
It looked good.
Yeah.
It looked good, so I'm interested in this one.
I think I've seen Vic's artwork somewhere else, but I've been trying to rack my brain as to where I've seen it before.
I like his artwork.
Yeah, yeah. It's very good. And guys, you know, as we've told you before, this is a new Image #1.
Yeah.
If you are interested in it, now is the time to get it added to your pull list here, because these things fly off the shelf. Even some of the more even obscure ones that doesn't have the big names behind them, they will still fly off the shelves.
The Thursday scragglers who come in and go, "Where's this book? We've already sold out." Really?
Pre-order.
We've only told you how many times.
I know, seriously. So hopefully, if you're interested in it, you will be able to get a copy of that. Moving on, though, to something a lot of folks are very knowledgeable about and know a little something about. G.I. Joe #1 hits the shelf this week from IDW. And this takes a look at the question of this: does the world even need G.I. Joe anymore? Apparently, Cobra has become a international peacekeeping force in this setting for this new series. And Scarlet is to lead what's left of the Ultimate Fighting Force. How's she going to keep the team together? Politics and action collide with this. It's going to be a different take of G.I. Joe. Some different names here. Karen Travis, I haven't seen that name before as a writer.
No, I haven't. And
I've seen Steve Kurz, but...
Yeah, that's one of the first female writers I can think of that's been on G.I. Joe, so that'll be kind of interesting for me.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, a new G.I. Joe hits this week. Have fun with that.
And for those of you who liked the Image series, A Voice in the Dark, we've got kind of the part 2 to it. I don't know if this is a one-shot leading in or if this is continuing on with like the second part to it. It's called A Voice in the Dark, Get Your Gun. This is #1. This is what they're saying, great jumping on point. It's now full color with it, and this takes a look at Zoe and her roommates as they are possible suspects in a murder case here. And all of that leads her Uncle Zeke to have to be taken off of the case so that there's no conflict of interest with this. It all seems kind of very real world with that going on. Plus, we get to see Zoe meet her fan for the first time without masks on. So we'll get to see what exactly is happening there. For those of you guys who aren't familiar with this, the creator, Laramie Taylor, he writes and draws with his mouth here, and his I believe it's his fiance or his wife. I think that is the inker on the book. I could totally be wrong with that. I know she's involved with the book also, so they're a great tandem there.
Yeah, very cool. And with that being the case for him, he's done a lot of work. So. It's definitely something you should check out, especially if you got the first series. From Boom Studios, Butterfly #1. I hadn't seen this creative team before. Roche Limit, Antonio Fuso. That name does sound a little familiar.
I think did some G.I. Joe work, but I could be wrong.
Maybe
it seems familiar to me that he did some IDW stuff.
This is a new espionage spy type story written by Amel. That is trying to kind of like incorporate what you've seen with Netflix's Kevin Spacey series, the House of Cards, and like True Detective, where you're looking at very complex characters with a very complex moral ambiguity, obligation, a take on things, but portrayed here in the lives of these spies that work for these agencies and what they're trying to accomplish. So it looks like they're really trying to dive into some complex character development within this whole spy genre, and it looked interesting to me. That's why I wanted to bring it up and bring it to your attention.
The only reason why I wanted this on here is so I could say, she's a butterfly. I'm her flower. She's my... I'm not going to tell you what this is from, but if you guys know, feel free to tell me. Because I love this so familiar.
Movie. I don't now.
80s movie.
I think I know what it is. I'm not going to say, but I think I know what it is.
Last up with the #1s is Aliens, Fire and Stone #1. This is a miniseries coming out here from Dark Horse. Last week we saw the Promethea book come out, or 2 weeks ago. this is tying into both the Promethea world and the Aliens world. We're taking a look at a lot of different, one of the popular ones, Aliens, Promethea, and I think Predator, all having miniseries coming out here from Dark Horse here recently. This book in particular, this deals with Derek Russell and his crew as they are hoping to find refuge on this old rickety mining vessel. If any of you are familiar with the whole lore of Aliens, the mining vessel is not a good place to be.
Stay clear.
So they are looking for refuge here as there's this xenomorph outbreak within their colony.
Exactly.
And this is all just a huge mistake for them because they're going to find that there are horrors on this ship and on the place that they, I guess, end up crashing, the planet they end up crashing, that are going to have them fighting for their lives here. So, Aliens fans, rejoice. You have a new Aliens book. It's been, I think, about 2 years almost since the last Aliens book came out. So, we've got something here.
Yeah, and there's this, with Dark Horse right now is doing that with Prometheus, Predator, and Aliens. They're doing this Fire and Stone montage, I guess you could say. There's
was that what the Prometheus was also called?
Yeah, there's a Prometheus, Fire and Stone, and I think they're all kind of connected. So even though they're different. There's one on the Aliens, one on Predator, one on Prometheus. They're all connected with this whole Fire and Stone connection, whatever that is. So if those of you that are fans of all three of those and want to see more of that, these are the ones you need to be reading because it's kind of a continuation of some of those stories. So have fun with that. And that's it for the new number ones.
Yep.
I mean, there's some good ones, some different things to check out this week hitting the show.
Right.
So that's it for that, guys. We are now moving on to our favorites. And you know what this means. It means there's going to be some spoilers ahead because we're talking about our favorite comics that we like to read first thing when we take them home and have them on the stack of our comics. So they're first at the top of the stack, and we're going to read those first. But before that, what was your favorite from last week, Randy?
You said first a whole lot.
I did. I said a lot of firsts.
For me, what number was it? Clone number 20?
20.
20, I think, has to be my favorite there.
That was a good one.
That one was incredible. You had the intensity of everything. The preacher, I did not expect his actions to happen there.
Right.
I love the whole line about everyone needs their villain, or everyone needs a villain from Tattooed.
Yep.
Luke, I can't remember what his name is there. And then the revelation as to what happens to Luke's wife.
Right.
There.
Right.
I was not expecting that part of it. And then, this was just revelation after revelation. Then as they're getting to paradise, the place where they are hoping to escape to, we've got some new test subjects. And you're just like, holy
yes, yes.
Why did you ever get on this? This book was page turner with it, and they've really been getting stronger and stronger. And I hate that you get to the last page and they're like, and we're going to take a break here.
Why? Why?
And it's just like, not right now. You are so hitting your stride.
That's a great way to describe it. I mean, it's been consistent throughout, but it was really hitting the stride because that's been such a build-up for now.
Yeah.
As soon as the Asian trio showed up there with wanting to bring them to this island, this paradise for all these clones, you're like, okay, well, let's do it. And take issues to just get through all that.
The way Gamma has been acting there has been so counterproductive to what Luke has been trying to do.
Yeah.
And then you have the guy who, the clone who was the junkie, who says, look, it's because of you that I am no longer the junkie.
Right.
Until he is now the junkie once again, and ends up really screwing up everything for Luke. So, is it Luke or Lucas?
Either.
I think it's Luke.
Yeah.
I think it's Luke.
Yeah, so great series, guy. Yeah. That's a great choice, man. And you talking about it. But I'm going to have to edge it out just a hair with Deadly Class number 7.
That one was pretty awesome.
That was,
Did you, just real quickly before you get into it, did you feel like maybe Remender actually still has a journal from when he was a kid, and he went in and actually took some journal entry that he had about a girl and had that as his character, as Marcus' journal?
Right.
And that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, it was a lot of it was a lot of exposition.
Yeah.
I guess is the word to describe that. Inner feelings being expressed. But by the end of it, it got back to where I wanted it to go, and that is the Dominion School.
Yeah.
I wanted to see. That's where I want to see, and it got back there for me. So, I mean, just by the hair on your teeth, did that edge out Clone number 20 for me. Clone was fantastic.
Craig's art on that.
Yes.
Craig's art is phenomenal, and just all the characters. Marcus' interaction with Lynn,
yeah,
whatever there, was brilliant, and you have a feeling this, I mean, if all this is based off of some life things, you go, dude, remember, there are times where, as a kid, you really need to shut your mouth. Because if you ever told a punk guy off like that,
right,
that dude's probably going to have at you. And
exactly.
So that whole book was really good. I was not as big a fan, like you said, as the journal, the exposition part of it. But what you were looking for, you've got a roommate, guys. You're in this deadly school. Buddy up with him. Do not make an enemy of this dude.
Of anybody. Don't make anybody enemies of anybody. And I also liked that we got to see some more of the scarred up guy.
Yeah.
And his crew that's with him. And they are messed up people, man. So and this is who is on Marcus's tail.
Yeah.
So yes, it did, and there was a bit of a lull with the exposition, but then there was the rest of it that really kind of moved it forward and moved it back to the school and that setting, which is where I've been wanting it to be, instead of this crazy road trip that we got for 3 issues. And so yeah, definitely check it out. Get the first trade, and then get on board with issue number 7 and be caught up with everything.
Yeah, I like the whole fact. I'll just say one more thing, that no matter how much of a secret you think you're keeping,
right,
Master Sensei, whoever, he knows it all.
He knows it all. Yeah, exactly. That was a nice twist at the end there. So, guys, those were our favorites from last week, and now we're moving on to what we're most looking forward to from this week. And I see one on mine that's not on yours.
There are actually 2 that are on your list that I had on mine, and I saw them on yours and I said, go with them.
You go first, though, bro.
You go first, because I want you to talk about number 23.
Saga number 23. Saga number 23. If this series is not on your list, I don't know what else to tell you. But we have been, with the last issue, we saw the developments of what happened between Marcus and, am I saying her name right? Alana?
Alana, yeah.
And things are looking dark and bleak, and I don't know where it's going to go next. I really don't know. That's the thing about what Vaughn and Fiona Staples are doing, is you can think you know what's going on. You can even guess, hazard a guess or two, thinking you're going to know what's going to happen next, and you don't. And it turns into something else completely different, but just as exciting and just as interesting. So I'm really looking forward to this issue. All it says about this issue is betrayal.
And I think that there can be multiple levels of that possibly happen within this. And if you're just talking about main character, Marcus and Alana, just had a brain fart there. If you're talking about them, which one can you really argue? I mean, you can look at both sides' valid points. Right. Something there. So we'll see exactly what's going on with that. Up for me, the massive number 27 hits, and in this, finally, we have some answers. We found out the origin of Mary. I don't think she's necessarily Mother Earth, but she's something very similar to that. I don't know, but she's been there throughout all time. She's been there. She's somehow connected to the water, connected to everything. We've now actually found the missing ship, the Massive, and in this issue, we should be hearing what their story is, the disappearance of the Massive. Probably not going to be exactly what you're going to be think it will be, but that will leave only one really big, huge, hanging question in the air, and that is, what was the reason for the crash? Why did this happen here? Why is the Earth reacting like this, and why is it acting like this again? Okay. So, we'll see. This is a great series here. Has some political, has some sci-fi elements to it. Now it has sci-fi elements to it. Really didn't have before, other than like massive Earth destruction kind of stuff. Right. But love this book. Up next for me, Wayward number 2. I was going to put that on my list. I actually enjoyed that one quite a bit too.
I liked it. I liked that first issue. I did like that first issue, and I was definitely impressed with the artwork by Steve Cummings. American-styled anime, manga, but wasn't the crazy big bug eyes. It wasn't over the top. Exactly, it wasn't like that at all. It was. I mean, really, some of the detail reminded me of some of my favorite artists, like Frank Quitely, and I mean, just some nice detail within the mix of all the artwork. Great portrayal of action. The story went along at a nice, brisk pace. It's a great first issue. And I'm looking forward to the second issue as we see Rory dealing with her senses and her abilities in this new place. And then she's going to meet someone that has a dark secret, and he wants to keep those secrets hidden. Yeah. So this is a whole new world that we're getting to explore here with this character in Tokyo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to having fun with it.
An interesting mix of a character because she has the Irish father and she has the Japanese mother.
Exactly.
And so she's a redheaded Japanese-looking girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. It. But and her senses thing. She has this ability to like detect paths, I guess is kind of the way to say it, and it's not just with like seeing where to go. It was in the fighting even.
Exactly,
it could detect like the path of how to hit or block or do something. Mm-hmm. So that was neat. For me, I always try to promote it because it's kind of an unsung comic out there. Rachel Rising number 28 hits. That's been a book that has been in jeopardy of being canceled just due to like financial problems. You know, people have to actually buy this if they want Terry Moore to keep putting the book out here. Well, it's still being put out, and in this, Rachel's still trying to solve the mystery of who exactly murdered her, but that hits a bump as she comes across a coven or a secret society of vampires. Oh, vampires. And now she and Zoe are hot on the trail of this cult's leader, or clan's leader. I don't know what exactly you want to say. So that's never good when you have them, have drawn their attention here. So we'll see exactly what's going on. I know I'm telling you guys this information. It always seems like this information is kind of like East of West, a little misleading because there's a little more of this, a little less of that happening. So we'll see exactly how exactly accurate this is.
Right. Last up for me, guys, Outcast. It's just Outcast. I don't know why I have to call it Outcast by Kirkman and Azaceta, but apparently the Outcast name has been trademarked or copyrighted by somebody else. So
I think someone within Valiant or something like that.
So there we go. But Outcast by Kirkman and Azaceta, number 4, hits this week, and this series has been very interesting to me. You get introduced to the main character Kyle. But with issues 1 through 3, you really get to see how tormented he's been, because you don't get it all in the first issue. You really don't. He has a very interesting friend with the Preacher that is familiar with his plight and the plight of his family that's gone on with this series. And the Preacher is an interesting character too, because there's layers to him. And in this issue, we get introduced to Luke Masters and what he has for Kyle. In store for Kyle, we don't know. He's a new character. It's going to be a major character for the series from this part. From issue 4 forward. So we'll get to see is he someone from the past? Is he someone related to him? Is he someone else that has experienced the same stuff that Kyle has? Don't know, but I'm really looking forward to this. And with the end of issue number 3, there was a very, very interesting moment between Kyle's mother, who's in a hospital type nursing home situation because of her mental distress, and someone comes up to her and says some very interesting things, someone who's in the know about what's going on with her family in general. So it was a very interesting little scenario with that, and I'm looking forward to number 4 and what Luke Masters is going to bring to the whole equation.
Cool. Last up for me is Storm number 3, and what I like about this book is they are really exploring different roads and territories with the character. Last issue was supposed to was her meeting up again with Callisto, and down in the sewers, and all these children coming up missing. She finds Callisto, just starts hammering into her. They're fighting, and the children are there. They're like, "What's going on? Why are you doing this? We've been these less than stellar conditions within our lives. People beating on us, people stealing from us, people, hating us, people, just hardships within life. And down here, Callisto takes care of us, and she cares about us. So, Storm had to admit, okay, look, I came in here guns blazing, and I'm wrong about this. As long as everything is okay here, maybe this is where you should be, because life seems a little better for you here. So I like that they're exploring different avenues. With this one, we're going to take a look at just what exactly is going to go on when Storm meets up with her former lover there, Forge.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's been a long time since they were actually a couple, but he's helped her through some rough times, and now he's had some rough times here as of late with kind of being a little crazy and whatnot. So we'll see what happens here. I can't really fathom, because they've really taken and done like a 180 with every situation that they kind of go into.
Okay. I like Forge. He's always been one of my favorite
Yeah.
characters. I don't see him. I don't know what he's been doing here recently, because I haven't seen him.
He was with Cable's team.
Okay, that's right. He was part of that. That's right. I do remember that now. Folks, that's it. That is it. There's a ton of stuff out this week. I get to wrap up the Futures End stuff. We got to finally get the conclusion of Superman Doomed. Maybe the conclusion of Original Sin. Moving on to some more and even more interesting things for everyone. Guys, give me just a moment here. If you go to our website, ExcaliburCCG.com, this goes back to what we were talking about with the new number ones. If you go look at our site, on the right-hand column, there's some tags down about 3/4 down the page that say, like, add to your list October 2014, add to your list November 2014. These are all links to the entire list of stuff that is new storylines, mainly it's new number ones, coming out from all the companies. And if you have a pull list with us, all you got to do is find the new number one, like which is number one's going to be coming out. All the image stuff that we've talked about, Drifter, Intersect, all these things are going to be coming out in the next couple of months. You can find them under that tag. It'll pull up that page for you. Go down. If you say, hey, I want to get Drifter from Image Comics, just put in your name, your email address, your phone number, choose which store, Texarkana or Shreveport, click submit, you're off and running. If you don't have a pull list with this, there's a number for you to call right there. We can set you up with the pull list. Randy or Chris will get on the phone with you and say, hey, what would you like to have on your list? And they'll get that started for you. But these new number ones from just about, I mean, it really is a lot with Image. They will sell out quickly and they'll be gone. And unless you have reserved a copy, you're going to have a hard time getting one, either getting one, period, getting one for regular price.
Yeah.
Or you're just going to get gouged in the aftermarket. So, just a quick reminder, we have that available on our website. Go to our website and you just select the ones. They're right there on the home page. You can see them even there on the home page. Because there are some things you're going to want to see. I'm excited about some of the stuff that's coming out, and I just want to bring that to your attention so you don't miss out on anything you possibly might be interested in. But guys, that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. We are Excalibur Comics, Cards, and Games here in Shreveport, Louisiana, as well as in Texarkana, Texas. Please come and see us Tuesday night at the library. We plan on having fun. Like Randy mentioned earlier, we're not in there to debate or judge anything. We're just going to inform you guys, give you more information about this, and maybe why you haven't seen some of your favorite collections in some libraries.
Yeah.
So that's just, we're going to have some fun with that. That's the whole point. Get your questions in beforehand at the library and just have fun with it with us.
Yeah.
Anything else to add, sir?
That all sounds good to me.
Sounds great to me, too. Guys, until next week, take care, be safe, read great comics. And we will see you in our next video. Bye-bye.